So in today's video we have the PS4. This is like my little gaming setup right over here, and as you guys can see, the PS4 sits right on top over here, so it takes up a little bit of the desk space. And then I have my controllers down here. What I want to do is basically mount this PS4 down at the bottom over here. And in order to do that, we're going to need to 3D print some parts. So I went on printables.com and started searching up different types of like PS4 mounts that there were. There was all different types, but one that I really wanted was this one. It had a cool design to it, so I picked that one, printed it out and everything. When I was in the middle of printing that one, it kind of gave me to a realization. I have the PS4 Slim model, so it's a little bit, slimmer than the original. And I didn't pay attention to that when I was downloading the file, and then kind of like figured that this one was for the original. As you guys can see, the height is just a little bit off, but it actually compensates for my little hard drive. If you guys can see, I have my hard drive mounted right over here, and that does take a little bit more extra space. And if you guys can see, it slides right in perfectly and easily in there. So everything worked out pretty well, but you guys see that right there? Yeah, it's covering the power port. So I didn't account for that. I didn't think the PS4 Slim had a different power port section. So I'm gonna get a Dremel and cut that out. All right, guys, we made it to the workshop. Right now I have it on the workbench right now. You guys can see right over here. Hopefully you guys can see this. We do have a little bit of stringing on here. Not too much at all. You guys can kind of hopefully see it on the camera. I'm just gonna take a little heat gun to it and get away all those little strings. You guys can see this. Hopefully everything's in focus on there. I'm just gonna hit it with a little heat gun. All right, I think they look a whole lot better now. No more stringing on it. So the PS4 mount just slides into these little pockets. And if you guys can see, with the hard drive, it actually just fits perfectly in there. No gap whatsoever except on this side. You guys can see that. Now if we go to the back here, you guys can see this is our main problem. We can't plug in the power port because a little bit of the plastic is in the way. In order to fix that problem, we're just gonna get a little Dremel and cut right into it over here. I'm just gonna cut from here to here, even though it's gonna lose a little bit of support. Everything over here is gonna work out pretty well. But if anything I learned from 3D printing in the last 2 weeks is that these little sharp points are not something you want in support. Like, you want it to be, like in 3D Fusion, you want that fillet to make these like round corners, because you don't want this sharp corner right here, because you want more plastic around it to reinforce it better. I don't know if he just designed this to look like a Hershey Kiss, but we're gonna leave it how it is. Always make sure you have safety glasses on whenever you're cutting something. All right, as you guys can see, those two little cuts is where I'm gonna go cut from, and then probably from like half of the circle where that mounting hole should be. You guys can see that little slit that we made. Looks a little bit rough, so I'm gonna go get a little sander and sand that off a little bit, make it look a little nicer than that. Alright guys, we got it cleaned up a little bit there. Not perfect, but this part's not even going to be really seen when we're putting the mount on, because this is the back of the PS4. So pretty good, but man, did I make a lot of mess. I even got some on my camera. Let me go get a vacuum real quick. we got everything cleaned up, let's see how this looks. As you can see, everything is seated pretty well. Nice little cutout for it. Let's test it out. All right, that is perfectly good cutout for it, and I'm assuming we still have really good strength on this. It holds pretty well. I don't know if you guys can see that. Everything is holding pretty well. I did print this out on tough PLA. I didn't use PETG yet because I haven't actually tried PETG. Still have to do a temperature tower and see what temperatures it prints at, and to see how it prints, because I've heard PETG prints differently than PLA. So tough PLA is supposed to print just as well as regular PLA, but have the toughness of PETG. Everything on the mount seems to be working well. Let's go back inside and try mounting this in now. And we're back. Ran into a little bit of a problem, but we're gonna fix it right now. When I'm taking these out and I'm mounting them to the desk, I can't measure exactly how many inches away the holes are supposed to be. So I'm gonna put the mount on it exactly how it's supposed to be, pushed in, and then pushed back a little bit to accommodate for that little bit of cable right there. That seems pretty much straight on. I got a piece of paper here. Put some masking tape on it, and it works perfectly for a mounting hole. What I mean by mounting hole is that I'm gonna sketch along this and then find the holes on it. And what this will be is our little template for when we're drilling on the desk. I'm pretty much done. If you guys can see, I have a hole here, 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 and over here. So what I'm gonna do is put some masking tape on the bottom of this and then line it up with the table so it can stick to it, and then we'll have our lines matching up so we can drill it. I poked out the first two so I can actually align it and flip it over. That's exactly where it should be. What I'm gonna do is stick this on the top, and then hopefully these tapes will stick to the table and we'll have our mounting holes. So this tiny little guy has enough clearance. As you guys can see, once it goes through, has just enough clearance to fit right underneath there without protruding it at all on the wood and having maximum strength. Let's get to drilling. Hopefully the paper sticks, and there we go. Have a little bit falling off, but I got the tape with the marking holes on it exactly where I needed it to be. So now we're gonna go drill out these holes. I got the mount screwed in. You guys can see everything looks pretty good. And it's just like a little slot for the PS4 to go into. Didn't run into any problems. The little template worked out really well. So this is what you guys just need to do. Get the little pencil and then trace it out so you guys can drill out those holes. Have it sit on top so that it can just stick. As you guys can see, no more stickiness to it. Again, guys, I'm using tough PLA from Inland for these mounts, and just by moving this thing, you guys can see it's moving the whole entire desk. That's pretty strong on there. I'm not too worried, even with that little cut that I made over there. Everything seems to hold pretty well. And for the moment of truth, we have the PS4 and it's just gonna slide right in. And there we go. As you guys can see, it's laying down perfectly in there. Everything's holding pretty well. Nothing's moving out. I love how it just slides right in. You guys can get a little side view. But yeah, there we go. Let's put in the cables and everything. So I think we got everything done. We got the PS4 mounted right there. As you guys can see, it looks beautiful. Everything fits pretty well in there. And it only took me, I think, like 4 hours, 20 minutes for each side. So total of like about 9 hours of printing for that little guy. Cost me about, I think, $1 or $2 to make. Yeah, $1 each, so $2 in total. And yeah, this thing is amazing. Love my 3D printer. Right now it is printing a poly test. So you guys can see it's doing vase mode on it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's hollow on the inside and it's just going around in a complete circle. I'm also live streaming 24/7 right now, so go check out the live stream. And I didn't even notice that. I am literally almost out. Just almost 2 more strands of that and that thing is out. But I think that's it for today, guys, for the video. Thank you guys for watching. More 3D printer projects coming soon. And yeah, I think that's about it. Peace. Don't know why I did that. I don't think I ever do that. I'm working on so far with Gridfinity. It's going to be amazing, but just limited to the time of 1 printer. Definitely want to get 2, but as of right now, my time is limited to 1 printer, so I'm printing very slowly, but this is what I've gotten so far, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.